Yes, indeed. Hello. Now, for all 3, maybe 4 of you who were wondering, you may have been asking yourself, just where the heck has Fun Ahead TV been as of late? Because, well, if we're being totally honest with ourselves, my upload schedule has been mid at best as of late. In fact, mid is a strong word for what it has been. But you see, that's just the thing, because I am a busy, busy boy. And unfortunately, in those times when things get really busy, unfortunately, the YouTube upload schedule takes a back seat. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It bums me out. Believe you me, no, yeah, it is a thing that is weighing on my mind every single week when upload day comes around and I'm like, I still have not had another video out. It bums me out. But that's just the thing. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a business owner. And it just so happens that that business has actually been doing all right lately. So therefore, I've decided to move myself in to this brand new office space so that I can edit my videos more effectively and get content out to you more frequently. But you see, it's not just the kitchenette or the faster Wi-Fi that makes this new office so appealing from a business standpoint for water-cooled restoration. And it's also not this spacious mezzanine for ample storage or this indoor hose reel for some freaking reason. And it's also not my nice new bathroom either. But it is, however, the fact that this office, actually a fairly sizable shop, allows me the space to install these 2 brand new rotary lifts that are purpose-built for working on low sports cars. Which low sports cars, you say? Porsches, baby! What do you think we're doing around here? Why am I still holding this hose? That's right, boys and girls. Water-cooled restoration has been growing nicely. I've been consistently busy these last couple years. I am very, very thankful to each and every one of you for watching my videos and allowing my business to grow and a dream to be realized so far. But, of course, every business has to grow, and I can't work out of the pole barn in my backyard forever. So therefore, I've decided it is time that water-cooled restoration expands into a larger shop space, and this is it. This is about 3 times the working space that I was working with previously. This is the view that you guys are going to be seeing from here on out in the majority of my videos whenever we're working on cars. I promise the echo won't be here forever. There's still nothing in this shop right now. I'm still moving everything in. In fact, the lifts just got installed, but this is it. This is my brand new shop space. This is what I have been up to. This is why I've been so bad about video uploads as of late. So with that, let me back up a little bit and I'll get you guys up to speed. All right, well, here we are about probably a week and a half after the footage that you just saw of me doing the goofy thing with the hose reel and whatnot. And as you can probably tell, things look quite a bit different in here thanks to the fact that, well, I've moved a lot of stuff in here. It is insane how relatively few things are in here for how much effort it took to get it all here. But considering that this is, like I said, about 3 times the working shop space compared to what I just left, all of the stuff that once made all that pole barn feel very cramped is now just so spread out that it hardly feels like anything is in here. So it's pretty wild. But on the exciting note, as you can see, I'm sitting on one of the lift arms, which is sweet, which means that the lift is working. I did not have the electrical plumbed, I don't know what the word is. I did not have the electrical wiring run to the lifts in the last shot. Lift installation is kind of a 2-parter. You have to get it in for one, and then the next part is, well, you've got to wire it in properly. And commercial real estate is, there's just a lot more hoops to jump through, a lot more red tape in order to get things done. And so obviously in order to get the electrical in here, a certified electrician had to run it in the perfectly proper way. Permits had to be pulled. Therefore, things just get much, much more expensive anytime you try to do anything in a commercial property. But the lifts are here, they're working. It is now a functioning shop. I am still, however, moving things in. It is August now, and I have budgeted the entire month, almost the entire month, 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks of August for the moving in process. So most of the stuff is here. I would say probably like 85% of the things are here. But nothing is unpacked, and we'll go on a tour in a minute here and I will show you a little bit more about where the majority of my stuff is that has yet to be unpacked. It's all in that mezzanine area, and actually quite a few things over here as well. Basically, within the last year, I kind of came to the realization that in order to expand the business, I needed more space. I was considering for a long time putting a second lift into my pole barn at home, but there are many, many limitations that came along with that, space being the main one of them. And not just floor space, vertical space too. As you can see in here, the ceilings are very tall. In fact, they are twice as tall. That therefore allows me to put a full height lift in here, 2 of them. And there is ample space to put many, many more lifts in here as well if I wanted to. So if I were to put a second lift in, it would have to be a short lift. I would have to always be doing work scooting around on my mechanic's chair. Whereas now, I mean, these lifts are 12 feet, which means I can lift a Porsche up as tall as it needs to go in order for my 6'6" tall self to completely walk underneath of it and work like this, as opposed to sitting down, scooting around and working like that, which I've gotten very used to doing, but it is just so much nicer to be able to stay standing. There's just a lot more legitimacy that comes along with having not only a bigger space, but a much nicer space, and a space that's not in my literal backyard. And basically, in order to get out to where my house and old shop are, you have to drive quite a ways, and you have to be driving out in the country a long ways. This shop is right on the edge of Columbus, Ohio, and therefore is much, much closer to a lot of things. It's Uberable, newsflash. You can't even call an Uber to my house, which is a pain. So if people wanted to drop their car off previously, they had to have a family member or a friend come out all the way out to the country with them and drive them back while they drop their car off. So backing up a little bit, I started looking for a shop probably, let's see, it's August now, probably back in January. Even narrowing it down to this shop was a long process. And then once we got to this point, you know, I mentioned all the hoops you have to jump through for commercial real estate. It took a long time, just from the time I decided that I wanted to move forward with this one. I think it was almost a 3-month process to get everything done and ready to go before I had taken possession of it and was able to start moving in. I mean, there's attorneys involved, hoops after hoops after hoops. The county has to get involved, the township has to get involved. You have to get inspections done, zoning permits. It's a whole thing just to be able to move your business. And but all of that happened. It actually went surprisingly well. It just takes a long time to do, a lot of sitting around and waiting and paying freaking $100 here, $200 there for having some government entity do a thing. And then finally, once it's all said and done, then they're like, okay, you're good. You can move in. I will be officially working on cars out of this shop as of the last week of August, which I'm very, very excited. Because 1, that means this will be the first video series out of this shop. But 2, the car that's coming, the customer is coming from Rhode Island, and he will be driving his, I think it's a 200,000 mile 996 from Rhode Island. So I'm very, very excited. So we are in the middle of that downtime now. But just because I've been dealing with this property and a handful of customers and some pretty big projects, I just haven't had time to film. All right, so enough droning on and on. Let's go ahead and go on a little tour of my brand new shop. Okay, let's first step in to the office of the new water-cooled restoration shop. Now, of course, you as customers will enter this door right here. Now, eventually, there's going to be a little waiting room set up over here. I'm planning to put in a couple of lounge chairs, a table in front of them, a nice little rug on the ground. We'll have some Porsche magazines on there for you guys to read as you wait on the work to be done to your car. Over here, we've got a little kitchenette. Yes, I know there's plenty of boxes sitting around while I unpack everything, so please don't hate on all that. So over here is my desk setup. And just taking a peek out the front door, you can see the very large overhead door, one of the two main entrances into the workshop that cars can go in and out of. We're in a very nice commercial area, a lot of actually automotive businesses in here, which is pretty cool. Alrighty, back inside, let's go ahead and head into the workshop area, where straight ahead of us are my brand new lifts. Brand new rotary SP-A010, I forget, a bunch of letters and numbers. Let me look. They're the rotary SP0A10, yada, 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 yada lifts, which these are basically the Porsche of two-post lifts. These are specifically meant to lift low cars. And in fact, the arms that are on these lifts are nicknamed the Porsche arms because they can get so low. So outside of the lifts, as you can see, we've got some really nice LED-age in this shop. A whole grid of these really nice LED lights makes it really nice and bright in here. And in fact, we have two more directly up and over the two-post lifts, which add a lot of light to this whole area. They're obviously not on right now, but I'll flip them on in a minute. And just above that, you can see we have not one, but two big old fans up there, and they move a lot of air, which is important because, well, unfortunately, this workshop area is not air conditioned. The office is, the workshop is not. So having those fans is absolutely critical in here, but incredibly, this whole workshop stays at a pretty comfortable temperature. This unit is unique because it has two huge overhead doors, and they are on perpendicular walls from one another. So you actually, all it takes is cracking these a couple of feet, and there's a lot of air that moves throughout this entire unit, and therefore it keeps things very, very comfortable in here, even if the temperature itself is a little bit higher. So aside from those things, as you look around, you probably see a lot of familiar sights from the old workshop. We've got the old air compressor, tire mounter and balancer. We've got, well, the old oil receptacle, and then my two big wooden workbenches, which admittedly look a little janky, but they're enormous. And again, they don't look enormous because, well, we've got 18-foot ceilings in here, but they sit at a really nice tall height, and there's a ton of surface area on them. Makes for working on them really, really nice. So I decided I wanted to move those over. So they don't look the greatest, but man, are they functional, and I'm glad that they're here. I've got my old teeny tiny toolbox over there, but it's not a big toolbox to begin with, but boy, does it look absolutely teeny tiny in this setting. Kind of comically tiny, in fact, but we'll probably upgrade that soon. So in addition to these items, right here in this corner will be my barrels for waste oil and waste coolant. And as we head upstairs, you can see we're up here in the very spacious mezzanine, which I've only started scratching the surface of. I put like 3 things away, as you can see, 3 things. But I've got a lot of shelving units here, and I'm going to get probably more. I'm thinking about having maybe a couple aisles of shelving units, because you can never have too much storage for things when you run an auto shop. But you can see here, I've got several boxes of things on the floor that have yet to be unpacked and put on the shelves, and I have many more boxes just like it back in the old workshop. So all told, I've got about 400 square feet up here alone, which is really nice. I can really use as much or as little of that as I would like and really capitalize on the space for the sake of storage. And obviously over here, I've got a little bit of cord management to do, but that's just kind of temporary. I will eventually clean that up. That is for my security system that I just put in. Gotta have cameras. Now, just real quick on the water-cooled restoration front. Obviously, we've been talking about the brand new shop, but we haven't really talked about water-cooled restoration itself. Now, obviously, things have been busy enough to justify moving into a brand spanking new space. But you're probably looking at these 2 lifts going, David, there's 2 lifts there, but there's just one you. Does that mean that someone else has been coming around, maybe being employed by you? Is that what's going on there? The answer is no. Still no. Just me for now. The purpose behind the 2 lifts is I can have one utilized as a major service bay, and the other one utilized as just a short-term job bay. If you just want quick suspension work, that's this one. If you want major engine work done, that's this one. Cars can sit on that one for weeks, and that's okay. We can still get other stuff done with the other lift. So that's the purpose of this. So efficiency weigh up having 2 lifts. I know that I myself can be way, way more efficient just having the capability. But it's not completely out of the question. In fact, it is something that I've begun thinking about. I do eventually want to hire someone here at Water Cooled Restoration, but that's gonna be tough. This is a company that has been built on quality and precision, and it will be very difficult to therefore ensure that that quality is maintained as the company grows. But it is a very necessary thing to grow a business. I can't just do this all by myself. So yes, somebody will eventually be showing up around here. Once that does happen, however, it will open the door for more lift expansion. Obviously right now I only did 2, but I have the room for several more. The reason I did 2 is because I wanted to get into the shop and feel out exactly how I want to do the layout. I want to work in it for a while, and I didn't want to be completely locked in by putting in, say, 4 lifts right off the bat, and then I'm going, dang it, I wish I would have put this lift over here. I was fairly certain I wanted these 2 exactly where they are, because this door right here is going to be the main car in outdoor. And then as far as the other lifts and the other, additional utilization of this square footage, I kind of just want to feel that out, decide how I want to use the shop, decide what my needs are specifically in this area, and just make sure that this space can be utilized in the way that I think it can. So hopefully all of that makes sense. Many, many exciting things to come. On that note, if you need your car worked on, 996, 997, 991, you name it. You name it! If you have a water-cooled Porsche that you need some service done to, hit me up. David@watercooledrestoration.com. Shoot me an email or call me. 614-721-0461. Happy to get on the horn and chat with you about your car's needs, get you in here, get you all serviced up. And so there you have it. Friends, family, friends of family, thank you so much for tuning into Fun Ahead TV today. If you enjoyed this little walk around of the brand new Fun Ahead TV / Water Cooled Restoration headquarters, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. And also definitely subscribe so you can see all of the super hot action coming to you live from this very building on a very regular basis starting right now, because like I said, we're getting back on that upload schedule, baby. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, you, I'm looking right at you, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.
We're back. Drop in and just smack the bah!
The ripping and the tearing.